today I got my little book, my little black book. I'm still very old-fashioned, so like I write things down, any ideas, anything that comes to me at a time. This is the book. I write it in a book. Now I just need my glasses. Wow. Hey guys, welcome back to Kylie Homeware. Welcome back to At Home with Yolanda. This week's video, right? I wanted it to be more informative because I find that knowledge is power, and if you know better, you do better. So I just wanted to explain to you guys certain terms that you probably may have heard before but didn't understand what it meant or which context is going to be used. A lot of times, like designers, or if you binge on like interior shows like I do, you've probably heard these words before, but because you don't use them on a regular basis, you might not know what they mean. So I'm gonna try and simplify them for you. So yeah, let's get right into it. Now I've got my glasses and my book. Let's go. So a lot of the times, and the first thing that I normally like ask clients, even if you come to me and you're like, should I buy this vase or should I buy this chair? The first thing I normally ask is, what's your interior style? I have a whole video that explains that in more detail. That explains the kind of style that you're going for. And normally what designers do, that just from looking at your space, they can tell, is it bohemian, is it contemporary, is it, so I think that also helps once you have your style defined, your interior style defined. It also helps when you go shopping, when you go looking for services to be rendered, those kind of things. It really helps to define your style first, because it makes your shopping so much easier to do. You can then rule certain things out and put certain things into your design project. So I'm going to just briefly explain 5 different styles. The first one would be bohemian. Now, the bohemian style is literally anything goes. The bohemian interior style actually goes against any fashion norms or rules per se defined at any time. And that's how it came about. It was a bunch of people in the 1970s that were going against what was seen at that time as being acceptable. The next style I'm going to talk about is contemporary. Now, contemporary is exactly that. It's temporary. So it's a temporary style, is whatever is on trend at the time. Now, I like contemporary, but just keep in mind, if you want to go with that kind of interior style, you must understand that what's in today will probably not be in next year or in 2 years' time. So those kind of styles typically don't last, and they are quite expensive, in my opinion. They're quite expensive to keep up with, because trends change all the time. And as much as we love whichever couch is in season, whichever fabric is in season, just keep in mind that very soon you'll be out of fashion. And then there is Scandinavian design. It's quite funny because I feel as if a lot of homes in South Africa, especially like in the 90s and the early 2000s, take a lot of inspiration from Scandinavian, because I feel as if, although it originated in the Nordic countries, so the colder countries, European, just like Bandakonanj, I feel as if because of the browns and the neutrals, we funny because it's our climate is quite hot this side, but I feel as if a lot of times that we do take a lot from the Scandinavian. We used to in the past. We used to take a lot from the Scandinavian kind of feel of things. So Scandinavian is your browns, your neutrals, simple lines, and yeah, the reason why ngisho njalo is because ama nikhumbula kahle ama kunje ibizwa ngani lento it's not a TV stand since in the olden days. It's not an olden day. When we were growing up, we used to have a room divider. Yes, that's the name. And they always used to be like brown and all shades, in fact, of brown. I grew up on. So that's why I get to a lot of times I've seen South Africans take a lot from the Scandinavian, which is quite ironic because but yeah, Scandinavian is brown. Basically, that's the easiest way for you to remember it's brown neutrals. And then there is my favorite, my personal favorite, which is the coastal interior design. Now, the dictionary meaning of that, of the coastal design, simply means that coastal style emphasizes on lighter tones in shades of blue, green, beige, and white to communicate a relaxed feel. And that's what I absolutely love about the coastal theme is that kurelaxiwe nje yabona noma ungena endaweni kushaya umoya. I think that's what I love about the coastal theme. And just its easy breeziness, it's not minimal per se, but it is like, you know, minimum effort with wow results. So the coastal theme is something, and she shouldn't be limited. It isn't, in fact, limited to just like to cities around the coast. I've seen it done well, even inland in South Africa, and yeah, it's just something I am totally in love with. Can you tell that I'm from Durban? Another popular style is the farmhouse interior style. Now, if you think of a farmhouse, you think of something rural, you can think of something practical, something simple. It reflects interior aesthetics of a rural agriculture. Some of the most common features that you'll find in a farmhouse are your A-shaped doors, lots of windows, maybe even a covered porch, carriage style doors, or your barn doors. They actually take their inspiration from the farmhouse trend, and vaulted ceilings. It's quite breezy. I think it's also quite rural, which is probably why it's taken has taken a life of its own. There's also a modern farmhouse trend that is just up a notch from the traditional farmhouse one. Okay, so now that we've discussed some of the interior styles, I wanted to talk about or discuss some interior terms that you may or may not have heard before. And I feel as if this will help you a lot if you're shopping or if you're looking for something online. If you know what the name is, girl, knowledge is power, guy, knowledge is power. You can just Google that instead of saying light on the wall. So let's get right into that. Okay, so the first one is a trivet. Now, trivet is a light fixture that is mounted on the wall. You find it in hotels a lot of the times next to your bed. So instead of having a traditional table lamp, you have a trivet. I've also seen it being done with like if you want to bring certain emphasis into wall art. It's also done there where there's a light shining on the art or the picture. That is called a trivet. The next term is a wall niche. Now, a wall niche is an opening on the wall, or should I say a recessed box inside a wall used to display items. You can find them on showers. You can find them in like dining rooms where instead of a traditional cabinet being put there, they've just literally opened a wall, opened a box in the wall, excuse me, and that's what you call a wall niche. The next term is a casing. A casing is an enclosed frame around a door or a window opening. It's just you outlining the frame of a window or a door. Now I am going to go into just some furniture items you may or may not have been familiar with. The first one is quite simple, I think, because a lot of homes have it now, which is a console table. A console table is just a thin table that's normally used at an entrance of a home. Now, what's nice about the console table is when I started Ukailihle, my supplier was actually explaining to me how it was designed. He's very intrigued by interior, which is why he's been in interior for so long. But he was explaining to me that they designed the console table as a thin table because of modern houses that are being built where people are up and down and people generally just live or lead um, busy lives, and you needed a place where you could quickly, put down your keys, your sunglasses, dash into the house, get something, and then the same applies when you're about to leave your house, and just putting a mirror, if you can, above the console table is just to check yourself, to make sure that's how you're going to present yourself to the world as you leave or respect your family as you come in, look good, so yeah, that is a console table and its purpose. I use a lot in terms of furniture is nesting tables. Now, nesting tables are just two of the same or similar items being nested into each other. They can come in forms of side tables or coffee tables. They're always, in fact, of varying sizes. So the bigger one can go on top of the smaller one, or they can be separated even. I think it's even more functional that way, where you can quickly take one out and use it in another space in the room. Nesting tables, that's what. The next term is your lazy Susan. A lazy Susan is a rotating tray. Normally it's found, it can be a rotating tray or something that's built into your cabinetry in your kitchen, where you can put your spices or your dishes, and it just rotates. So a lazy Susan is a rotating tray. The next one is not quite popular because I don't think a lot of the new houses in our country have this, but it's called a hearth. A hearth is that that frame that just extends outside your fireplace. A lot of old houses have it. I know I have it in my house, where it's actually a safety feature in case the fire comes out of, or the fire jumps. Can the fire jump? I don't know, but it's just a safety feature, and a bit of tiling as well that's different from the rest of the room that's outside your fireplace. And lastly, a chaise lounge. Now, this is a piece of furniture. It is an armchair with an extended seat that is laid back. A lot of times you'll see this in like a therapist when you want to relax and just, explain all your life problems. Or there's also an outdoor one. I used to call it a lounger. I didn't know that it was I didn't know that it was supposed to be called an outdoor chaise lounger. Those are normally found around the pool and have an extended place for like your arms and your back to relax. It's called a chaise lounger for when it's inside the house, and a pool lounger or an outdoor chaise lounger if it's by the pool. That's the end of this week's video, guys. I hope those terms helped you understand or plan your decor projects easier, and make your shopping just a bit simpler, whether you're trying to explain to a service provider or you're trying to shop for these items. They are best found when you call them by the original name. That is all from me this week. I will see you again next week on Tuesday. Oh, bye.